Your 3M specific paint suit there, is it? That's the race car paint suit, is it? So you're putting the white on now. Happy fucking days. Living a dream. Hurry up then, 5-minute job. Okay, so got the car back now. It's all been painted. I'm coming to you live from the engine bay. It is very bright and white. Really happy. You know, he's done me a really good job here, because I'm quite, I keep hearing the phrase, it's only a race car, why do you bother? But I'm quite particular and I quite like things right. And it's all the bits that you can't see that I spend a lot of time doing. The bits on the surface we do. We obviously spend time doing, but I'm really particular about the bits that you can't see, because I'm a very sad individual, I guess. But either way, I'm really happy. Jeremy's done me absolutely solid here. I'm really pleased. It's lovely and shiny. It's very, very bright. I'm just going now, and all the holes I've drilled previously to go into paint, I'm just putting the riv nuts in it. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. I'm absolutely, it's been one of them weeks. It's always really busy here. Between Christmas and March, everyone wants everything done for, race season, track days, all those things. So it's just really busy, and the place is a shithole because I've just got stuff stacked up everywhere. So yeah, but ultimately, I'm just going to try and get some of this done now. Try and get some of these nutserts in so that I can entertain starting to put some of the heat shielding around the engine bay, which is essentially the next job. So let's get some nutserts in. Okay, so we are back in the workshop. Car is back up on the ramp. Really pleased with what Jeremy's done. It is bright white. Everything now that I've welded just looks pretty and as it should be. I've been through, as you see, put the riv nuts in. So today I've had an idea, which these boys are really excited about. So this is the gearbox from the 2.7 manual S-Type. And it shares the same bell housing pattern. So in my little mind, I was thinking, if the 2.7 is the same bell housing as that, then it's very likely that the 3-litre diesel is the same. And the 3-litre diesel, the late 1213 onwards or whatever, came with 8-speed ZF8. This is the 8 HP 70, so it's rated at 700 Newton meters. Look at me, dustpan has just fell off over there. So this is rated out the factory of 700 Newton meters. As I say, this is off a Jaguar, an XF, and we are hoping today to try and mount that in place of this. Really interesting. We've had a brief measure up. It's exactly the same length, so that will fit in there perfectly. Bell housing pattern is the same, that'll fit perfectly. The PCD on the prop shaft output is the same, and that positioning is the same, and even the mounts are the same. So physically, should just bow in, which is crazy. My prop shaft that we have modified to bring the engine back should just mount up. We have the issue of the drive plate. This came from Auto Reserve. Mark and Andrew sorted us right out with that. And they also took the bother of sending me just what I'd asked for, which was an original, this is a drive plate with the crank sensor pickup from an original one of these, the V8. And this is a 3-litre diesel drive plate. So we have to try and come up with some arrangement, hopefully, of making this fit onto there, because I really, really want this. Reasonings behind this is the 8 HP is getting a bit of a good rep for being able to handle lots of power, quick gear shifting. The gear shifting on these is really, really quick. And they do lots of other cool stuff as well, like they're able to batch shift gears apparently. So we really want to get this on there, because my clutch and flywheel is not up to what we're putting through it now. At Donnington I had lots of slip, so this seems like a cost-effective way forward, and no one's done it, so hey, let's have a go. We're quite fortunate in that MaxxECU have got some development where they're pretty much going to release the 8 HP. The only minor issue is that they're using a Dodge gearbox, so we got to have a mess around with software and maybe try and flash this TCU, whatever. So yeah, we're going to initially just see if we can get this to bolt in. see what we can do. Let's go for goal. Uncle Mike's getting ready. Gearbox off. Let's zap this clutch off. Woohoo! So that is the 8 HP on there. Bell housing is just perfect. Everything just fits as was, or at least as good as the 2.7. There's a couple of bolts missing where the starter motor's in a different position. We have presently got the drive plate of the 4.2 in there, and it's different, but the better way of different, in that we need to space out very slightly. So we need to make some spaces to go on the flywheel, re-drill this flywheel, and it looks like we've got a runner, doesn't it? Yeah. Mad. Right, let's measure that up, I suppose. Right, so we've managed to find up a way of fudging this. We'll get one of these made, I think, properly once we prove the point. But this is off of, as I say, the 4.2, and it looks like we can re-drill this and put some spacers on it, weld the spacers on, get this balanced, and it looks like we're just gold. We've measured up the torque converter in there, that locates nicely into the crankshaft. So yeah, hopefully new drive plate. Yeah, crazy. So yep, we're now going to test fit my nice fancy new exhaust and make sure that it bypasses this bloody gearbox. Otherwise we'll have to go and see James again, get him to modify it a bit, which I'm sure he'd be really happy with. Having some of your spaghetti?
Yeah. You're allowed to use the C word on YouTube.
Yes.
I'll hold him.
So all back together, it mostly fits. I got a minor drama here. So we're thinking we'll just grind that there and move it around a bit. And you're not very happy with me, mate, are you?
We'll talk about it.
So yeah, that nice exhaust just needs a bit. No. So yeah, we just got to move that round a bit, I guess. Jammers is going to get grumpy. So yeah, we'll I think should we take this all back off again, poke it in the car and see what goes down? See how much room we've got that side, because I just don't know.
Fucking glove.
What's it like, mate?
Like a glove. Like a finger up a plum.
Yeah, so all just mounts. 8 HP.
Other than the exhaust.
Other than the exhaust, yeah, but engine mounts, gearbox mounts, prop shaft. And Uncle Mike's down there. Yeah. Hello, Mike, all right?
Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it's fucking there, Stephen. My wheel spacer. Okay, so engine is located in with gearbox. We've roughly mounted in the exhaust pipe to see how much we need to move it. So happily it's not a massive amount, however it does have to be modified. So we're going to have to modify the piece of pipe basically that just comes out of the collector, and then the secondary part of that. Jammers has been up, as you saw, and he's going to have it back for a couple of days once we finish moving forward with it, because we've kind of been sitting here like dicking around. Sorry about the state of the place. It is upside down, it has been busy, and we're now fucking around with a load of stuff. So we kind of had to sit there and make a decision about whether to just go, you know, run it manual with the manual box, or like, you know, for want of a better word, just go balls deep and put the 8 in. So yeah, long story short, 8's staying in there. Looks like we're going to try and roll with it. So we're going to leave this in now until next weekend. I am going to make some heat shielding to go around here, obviously, where we talked about. The boys down there are just starting to make some new plates. So some of the other jobs I've got to do is I've got to build a wiring loom for this in the evenings. So I've been sort of collecting bits and pieces. So we're having a mil spec loom. So Uncle Spike is there making some new plates to go along the top, which will mount the new connectors that will run off to the engine loom. Uncle Mike has found some really nice looking steel there.
Jag stuff.
Jag steel already, because we've had to trim out some more bits under the car to make way for the rear box, which I'd forgotten all about. So he's making that. My job now is to we've got to guarantee this fucking works. So I'm a little concerned, to be honest with you, But here we go, you know, it is what it is. Like, we get excited by all this stuff. We've got other stuff we've got to move, like the brake lines here. They used to run along the top before the exhaust all stuck out. So naturally, that's all in the way now. So we're going to have to move the brake lines up over here. Same with the main power line. That's going to have to come out the back and come up round. I'm thinking I might pull these covers off whilst it's here. See if I can speak to Andrew at Amatec again. Get these done in black. Where I had to modify the fronts for the breather, I've just been unhappy with that since we did it, really. So yeah, there's loads going on. I've got to read the software out of the gearbox as well. It's obviously Jaguar XF diesel software, so that is going to be no good whatsoever for this. So we're going to have to try and flash the EEPROM and the flash memory in that with something more suitable, and that will communicate properly with my ECU. So yeah, I'm going to now start pulling out all of the old wiring loom, get that out and gone. We've got to sort another one of these. This is the engine oil cooler. We're going to have to sort something out the same this side for the gearbox oil cooler. So ultimately, what other problems have we had? Bolted in, didn't it? The flex plate.
They ran out of pasties.
We did run out of pasties. So the flex plate, we've got Mark from Auto Engineering. We've drawn up roughly what we need. I say roughly, we've drawn up what we need, and he is going to, like I say, we're going to drill this and put some spaces on it and have that balanced so that we can run with that for a minute. The rear, the output flange, is causing us some potential dramas because I thought that it was the same PCD for the rubber Guibo donut that comes on the output shaft here. It does appear though that it is a different PCD. So I've got a bit of a Hail Mary with that before we start making custom bits too much, is that I've ordered something which I think will go on the back and be able to allow me to use my original flex plate, Guibo, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's pretty much update now. Pretty much it. Right, so that's pulled the vehicle wiring loom out. I made that like in a bit of a hurry, so I'm kind of glad to get out of it, really. I've always wanted to redo this, so that's out. Main power cables, again, that's out. I'll probably try and reuse some of the heat shielding of that, but I've got to change the location of where it goes through the bulkhead. Yeah, those boys are over there. All right, boys. Spike's just finishing off this plate, and that'll be that on there. Lovely. Okay, so flex plate back. Mark's been a good boy. He's milled out. He's put it on his mill and milled out 4 holes, and managed to keep our pickup point intact. And he's managed to space it out by the space that we need, weld them on, and then balance it. So this has now got to go into the vehicle. So I've now got to take that back out and reassemble it all on the floor. Yay me! Must admit, I'm getting a little bored of pulling the engine in and out. So one of the other issues was the flange on the back of the gearbox, on the 8 HP. The PCD on these was slightly bigger, more in line with the BMW stuff, in fairness. Now, if I hadn't had a prop shaft made already, and I had to have a prop shaft made, I'd have gone up to this, because it gives you different options for these bloody things. But as it happens, I do have the Jag donut, Guibo, whatever you want to call it, and I've already modified my prop shaft like so. So this doesn't line up with the prop shaft. That's probably easier to show you, actually. Hang on. So that just doesn't, the PCD is wrong, like so. They're just slightly out. You can see, hang on. Oh my word, YouTube excellence. So if I line that hole up, you can see that it's too big. The PCD on this is bigger. So I went onto eBay and just bought, some crazy person took the flange off of his 6 HP, off of his Jag, and guess what? It just fits. Everything's the same. This, in fairness, protrudes from the rear of the gearbox by some 3 or 4 millimeters, but that will be taken up with the extended part in the prop shaft. So yeah, this diameter is identical. The spline is identical. Living a dream. Happy days, good old Jag. Obvious next thing to do is box engine apart. I've taken a torque converter out, which is down there. Just test fitted my flywheel and everything is lining up beautifully. So really pleased. Thank you, Mark, you absolute gentleman. This might actually happen, which is pretty exciting. Okay. So while the engine's out, I want to rev this a bit harder. So we're going to throw some ARP bolts in the rods. And hopefully, I'm going to check the bearings while we're there because it's just crazy daft not to. So, yeah, check bearings, ARP rod bolts, put the sump and everything back on the engine, throw the gearbox back onto the engine, ensure that the bolts go through into the torque converter nicely when it's actually mounted. I don't know if I mentioned before that the this bore here is exactly perfect. Like, it couldn't be better for the ZF8. It's the same. So gearbox back on, and then I can throw the engine and gearbox back in for the final time, bolt it onto the prop shaft, and then mechanically the gearbox is ready to rock, with the exception of oil lines. So hang on, let me flip you around. So the two oil lines go in there. Naturally, they're not the same as the BMW stuff. So I've drawn some spigots that are going to go in there and convert it to AN10. And I'm going to speak to my man, Steph, and get him to water jet me up a little plate to enclose them. The exhaust comes to around here, so I'm getting some nice tight 90s, and then we'll run an oil cooler from there in AN lines and around to the opposite side. I'm going to leave that around there for this episode. I'm always sort of pointing the camera at stuff. I say pointing the camera, pointing my phone at things. As I say, I'm not really a YouTuber. We just kind of point the phone at things these days. Historically, we just used to throw stuff together. Nowadays, we're pointing the camera at stuff and uploading it. So I don't ever know how much, whether this is going to be a 5-minute video or a 20-minute, or I'll probably just pad it out with a load of crap of us and the boys just poking each other with sticks and such. But yeah, the reality is, I'm hoping that in the next video we should see the car fully assembled and we'll get onto some wiring. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. So again, thanks everyone for watching. I know it's probably boring. I don't know, like, it's just us fucking around, I suppose, ultimately. But yeah, let's get this episode buttoned up, and then I'll thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, and all those sorts of things. And I'll see you next time.